There was a momentary silence there, and I did it on purpose. You see, a storm is brewing in this country, one that keeps people divided. I don't have notes or anything. This is just gonna be a free talk. Free meaning that my channel is not monetized anyway. And God bless to any of you that want to monetize on any of this social media. It's just not my thing. I have a full life off social media, as evident by my videos of making soap and visiting museums. So I'm not knocking it. So if that's your thing, it becomes a problem when this online stuff is nothing but your life and you allow it to eat away at you and you fail to understand that there is so much more to life than constant divides. As is, we're all tense due to this recession. We're all on edge. People are being laid off in mass. People's jobs that they've worked so hard for years, or they're finally getting their careers ahead, is being threatened. This is not a video about politics, so I don't care who you voted for, nor do I want to talk about that right now. I don't want to play the Poindexter game. I don't care about it. I just don't. In general, in the last probably 15 plus years, though I am a voter, I don't allow politics to rule my life, nor am I going to annex people out of my life based on who they voted for. So that's my conditioning with that. Now back to what I was saying, okay? There needs to be a balance. A lot of my subscribers understand me. I don't have to tell you I have a life off of this social media, because you see it when I visit these museums and go interact with people. Because there are people who see me in daily life and think that I'm really quiet or standoffish and stuck up. Not stuck up, but I am a little standoffish, and I take responsibility for that. I stay more in a contemplative, calm mode these days, in part because I am up in age. Being 45 years old now, I'm not going to let stress rule my life like that. A little bit of stress doesn't hurt anyone, but to be constantly stressed and on pins and needles is sad, and that's where we are now. If I can give you one piece of advice, regardless if you're sub to my channel and you're just passing through, can I give you this in hopes that if you can't do it right now, you can start to do it? Don't take the bait. That's the advice I'm giving you. Don't take the bait. I'm seeing situations where people get themselves worked up and stressed out, and even I allowed myself to be dragged in it, and I don't understand how, because in general, I don't take this online stuff seriously. If you want the truth about something, if you want some peace, or to protect your peace and need freedom, the best thing you can do for yourself right now is not believe everything you hear and believe everything people tell you. I don't care if they're your spouse, your sibling, if they're related to you, if they're your own children, your best friend you've known since kindergarten. I don't care if they're that mentor that helped you get to the place you are now. Paul. I apologize for the motorcycle. I did not know that my spouse was gonna start up that motorcycle in the middle of me recording, and I had to let sugar out because, well, we won't get into that. So, apologize for the momentary pause. I grew up on thunderstorms, and I see them as a personification of things. I've learned after many years of letting myself stress, because stress will go to your gut as much as it'll go to your head. I'm now getting migraines, and I've been diagnosed with IBS. That's stress. You got to know your controllables. You can't control a thunderstorm. It's going to come when it's going to come, right? I liken what we're going through in this country right now as a thunderstorm. People like me sleep through them and keep our calm because we know we don't do good with panic, or we know panic can sometimes be counterproductive. This doesn't mean that people who do panic are not human, because panic is just a part of the human condition, right? Some people are too frightened by a thunderstorm to sleep through it. Maybe because I grew up in Alabama on thunderstorms. They don't bother me as much. This is what's going on. And I feel like I gave this warning if you are fairly not new to my channel. That's the best way I can say it. If you're new, you didn't really listen to my commentary and you're new to the things I'm saying. Without a doubt, I knew that 2025 was going to be a difficult year. And it wasn't until Eric the hip hop preacher said it that I went ahead and admitted it out of my mouth. But let's be honest. We thought those strikes were going to start back up on January 15th. And it's all possible that the dock workers are going to strike again eventually because they don't want automation. We all knew that from New Year's Day to the rest of this year, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be divide. But without a doubt, the one thing that unites us all right now through all of the tragedies, and my condolences and my sympathies to the families with regard to what happened with the plane crashes in Washington, D.C. and now Philadelphia. And also my sympathy still with the survivors of Hurricanes Helene and Milton. We've just been taking a national beating in a lot of things, but we are a resilient nation. Your greatest resilience right now, and the best thing you can do for your safety and your peace of mind, is don't take the bait. And unfortunately, the advice I'm going to give you is that it's okay to unplug from this matrix and go out and take a walk. It's okay to go meet a friend for coffee. It's okay to sit down with your family and say that you're going to agree to disagree. My hiatus wasn't really a hiatus like it should have been, and I deeply regret that. Because in not taking a hiatus as I'd like to have, and I did it to myself, I allowed myself to sit around and watch a lot of negative videos around the holidays. And this is why on my backup channel, the Evergreen Wave, I'm going to, I think between March and May, get into different types of negative capitalism that's circulating through YouTube, and how people are making money on this platform in negative ways. That while it makes you money, or make them money, my bad, I used the wrong wording, you're still out here suffering. Particularly a video I made called Fearmonger Capitalism. You cannot be caught up in these cult of personalities online. Because everybody is at each other's throats, different types of groups for different types of reasons. And we know it transcends politics. And let's be honest about the real culprit. The real culprit is life is going to life in a bad way through a recession. Because a lot of that is what it really is. When you know that thunderstorm has come through and uncertainty comes with it. I just lost my job. How am I going to feed my family, right? Those type things come into mind. Certain arrangements are probably going to go away. How am I going to cope with a situation that I really don't want to deal with, but have to in order to pay my bills? The hardest one is groceries. Why do one carton of eggs cost as much as it does to feed my entire family? People say I'm drastic, but no. Lots of things have changed, right? And those changes have a profound impact on all of us. Don't take the bait. If you were born prior to 1993, I would really say the 1980s and back, anywhere between 1989 and back, you won the lottery. If you were in elementary school in the 80s, that was the last real lottery of life where you learned to research and explore your world, and you had to go out of your way to do it. That's either getting out in nature, picking plants and discussing it, that was going to libraries, that was joining interest groups to learn something. For social interactions, you met people at the bar, you met them at PTA meetings, you met them at bake sales, you met them at auctions. The machine was already becoming a thing, but it did not rule your life. It was so expensive, most people couldn't afford it anyway. Then the World Wide Web went live in 1993, and it all started to rapidly change. I was in elementary school from 1985 to 1990. There was no World Wide Web. And I think there's a time once at least when I prayed and thanked God that I did not have that as a child. That I had to use my imagination, because sometimes your imagination can take you to places that form who you are today. Why is this important? Because people will sit on this whole line, have trolls on this place, have somebody who disagree with their opinion, and let it ruin their entire day. Mix and couple that with the fact that there's no certainty with current port issues. People are upset because the food prices continue to rise. And when inflation goes down, those prices aren't going to go down with inflation. It's just not. I see this as worse than 2008 through 2011 because I was between 28 and 31 and I thought that was bad. Those 3 years gave me anxiety, and when I weathered that storm, I'm like, now I know this can happen, so I need to be better prepared next time. Take this thunderstorm going on right now as telling you to not take the bait, stay calm, and work on your controllables. And you may not like this advice, but again, one of your controllables is tuning out of this matrix and going outside and meeting people the old-fashioned way. Technology has its advantages. And if you're on these platforms, I really only have YouTube. I don't care for the others. And again, I'll give you all a congratulations if you're trying to get monetized on any of these, including YouTube. Because I could never see this stuff being my entire life to be monetized. That's my controllable. That I know this is too toxic because I feel like I won that lottery of imagination where you had to go explore your world prior to the World Wide Web. Because, of course, I was 13 in 1993. Don't take the bait. Don't believe everything you're told. Don't believe everything you hear. Don't be paranoid, but be proactive. And what I mean by this is weather this storm, if it can ever be weathered, by controlling your controllables. If you cannot control it, don't let it give you migraines. Don't let it give you stress. I know this is easy for me to say because finding a job during that last recession was like trying to climb Mount Everest. I was getting turned down for things and told I wasn't qualified, and I would get angry and get so angry that I wanted to take and throw the monitor out the window. How are you going to tell me I'm not qualified for something that my resume speaks to exactly what you're hiring for, and I can prove I have those qualifications? I was getting angry. I understand that anger, but you have to be careful about how you express it online. And you have to be careful the energy that you put off. I get it. I'm not here trying to pacify you. I'm not here trying to downplay your pain. I'm just saying. Consequences come for all of us. And so do recessions. And I think the recession is already putting pressure on further divides. You may like somebody who reports something on YouTube. That doesn't mean you have to believe everything they tell you. You may dislike the truth in something that was reported, that doesn't mean you have to let it ruin your whole day. And trust me, I was that person. If I heard bad news, it ruined my day. I've learned to stay calm now because I can't control that people online are going to troll. I can't control that they may or may not tell lies. I cannot control that they may or may not fearmonger. I'm not preaching of sunshine and roses and that you can always walk on a beautiful bed of roses and everything's going to be okay. What I am telling you is that we have now turned into a bait nation, where everyone is at each other's throats all the time unnecessarily, and it is causing drama and strife. I just ask if you ever watch this video anytime in the year 2025 and beyond, don't take the bait in any form or fashion, even if that means plugging off of this online stuff. At the end of the day, there's life out here to live. It's really not that serious. Yeah, I'm talking to you guys and girls too that like to sit on these social media platforms, and you've turned it into such a hustle that you're burning out with 10-hour lives. How you can stay live for 10 straight hours is beyond me, but some of you actually do it. I'm not criticizing you. I mean, you get paid to do it. It's not something I would want to do. But whether you get paid for this or not, regardless if you do, because I used the wrong wording there. Sometimes you need to turn this off and just go out and live your life. Stop letting people bait you online. Stop taking the bait. And I say this as a person that just decided to quit giving energy to certain things. The stories show up in my feed and they're tempting, and I'm just tired of it. You are choosing to give your energy to it. You're choosing to let it bother you. Plug out of the matrix for a while. Don't take the bait and see how well that works for you. All right. Y'all feel free to comment. Thanks for stopping in to watch. Y'all take care. Be nice to each other as much as you can. Avoid what you cannot control sometimes if you can avoid it. But you cannot avoid everything in life. Work on your controllables first and don't take the bait. Have a good one.